Welcome, I am Terry Andrew. This is APUA's Green Antigua PowerBlast, a search for young innovators and inventors right here in Antigua and Barbuda. Each week, the students will be asked to complete projects focused on energy conservation and renewable energy. They will be given a limited time and access to a treasure trove of raw materials. Each project will be judged and awarded points based on construction and design, team collaboration, use of time, the performance of their project, and the oral presentation. Now, here's the catch. The team with the lowest score each week will be eliminated. So a team every week will be going home. In 5 weeks, the team left standing will be declared the PowerBlast champions. Now, let's meet the teams.
My name is Daniel Antonio. The name of our team is the G-Men. The G stands for Grammarian. The team is Joshua Salmon, George Joseph, Tariq Nanton, and Terry Benjamin.
My name is Seth Joseph. My team name is The Physicists. And the 4 members of my team are Victoria Mansour, Pikilani Boswell, and Achieva Lotto, and Grace Somerville.
Alright, my name is Jerry Joshua. My team is the Brainbusters. And there we have Esquire, Alia, Kambika, and Dakwitsia.
My name is Francesca Etinov and my team is Honey Blasters. The members on my team are Arian Peters, Kiani Jacobs, Algene Roberts, and Lashika Hodge.
My name is Joshua Robis. I'm from the St. Mary's Secondary School. Name of the people that's on my team is you have John Williams, you have Kevin Joseph, you have Jaime Williams, you have Tennyson Cornelius.
My name is O'Neil Rowe and my team name is The Conquerors. The group members are Chevron Jones, Audie Daly, Shaquan Frederick, and Jason Blackwood.
Now you've met the teams. These are the folks that will be judging the competition. Dwight Laviscount, he's a civil engineer in the Department of Environment. Daryl Jackson, Managing Director of Aware Energy Solutions. And Aichita Simmons, he's the Mechanical Engineer in the Department of Environment. Now, is your team ready for your first build?
Yes.
All right, this week you'll be building a solar cooker. A solar cooker is a device which uses energy of direct sunlight to heat, cook or pasteurize liquids. They can be relatively inexpensive, low-tech devices, or as powerful and expensive as traditional stoves. Solar cookers use no fuel and cost nothing to operate. That means they can help reduce fuel costs, air pollution, and take the strain off non-renewable energy resources. Your team will have a total of 90 minutes to complete this and must give an oral presentation to the judges while demonstrating your device. Your challenge will commence when you join your team at the Botanical Gardens. We can't wait to see what you have to make.
Well, when we went for the box, it was too big at first. So we went to a small box because we needed the skewers to fit inside. And if it's too big, we can get the skewers to fit.
For the design, we thought that it was most feasible. We looked at the different aspects of it and how it would increase the temperature. We had a black interior, so we had the black mat on the inside, and then another member was thinking that we should use foil instead, because it would actually focus the light on the hot dog. But I was thinking, and a few of us thought that the black would have more promoted radiation to absorb the heat.
So we got cardboard boxes of different sizes, a large cardboard box and a small cardboard box. We cut a hole in the large cardboard box to fit the small cardboard box inside, and we used shredded paper for insulation. Ariane and Kiani had the lining of the boxes because they were good with the box cutters. Lashika had the foil paper because she was good with the double tape and the aluminum foil as well. And Algene and I had constructing the reflectors because we knew how to curve the reflectors in order and angle it in order to make the sun shine.
The design, it was a very long discussion that we had decided the design. You see, originally we planned to do something else, but at the last minute, I came up with a design that harnessed the law of reflection. So and then everybody was like, okay, that's the easiest way, and so that's why we chose that design specifically. Jaron Williams would do the drawing because he's good at drawing, and then we had the two guys, Jaheim Williams and Tennyson Cornelius, mainly did the building because they're good with their hands, and Kevin, he did the writing because he's a writer, he has good handwriting, so that's why we chose him as a writer.
We started building like two different models before, and then I think it was 2 days ago we decided with this build because it was smaller, so that it would be easier for heat to get to the hot dog.
Solar cookers work on 3 basic principles. 1, concentrating the sunlight on a mirrored surface. 2, converting that light energy into heat energy. And 3, trapping the heat, hopefully reaching a temperature of 150 degrees Fahrenheit for baking or up to 750 degrees for grilling. If those principles are applied, we should be feeling the heat. If not, you might be going home.
The process was very interesting. First, well, some of the materials we expected to have weren't there, so we had to find other ways to go about assembling the model.
We made the cooker itself outside the box, then we put it inside, and we insulated it with paper on 2 sides. Me and because the other 2 sides was right at the back of the box, so we couldn't fit anything in between there.
Just fell into place. Who felt most comfortable doing the measurements and cutting the black mat just did it because they wanted to. It wasn't anything difficult where someone could specialize. It was just cutting, sticking.
We went with the curved reflectors because we thought of the idea that the convex shape would have focused the light on the food more than if it was just one reflector and it was straight.
Energy was used to convert the heat energy. So basically, the first stage was to harness it with mirrors. We had mirrors that will trap the light, and then it will reflect on another mirror, and then it will keep on reflecting to keep the light waves in. When it kept reflecting, it was going to reflect back up, but that was the function of the plexiglass. The plexiglass acted as a semi-medium to make sure the light came in, but it didn't come out.
It was a really simple build. All it was 2 boxes and pieces of newspaper put together for insulation, put in between them for insulation. And then the foil paper was just the reflector of the heat, and the plexiglass was just to allow heat to get in and not for it not to escape. And then it was very simple to build.
Well, we all had different areas where we had strengths in, and so we went from there, distributing the weight amongst ourselves in the team.
We took 2 aluminum cans, soda cans. We cut each of the heads off and put it into each other, and we wrapped it in black construction paper so that the black construction absorbs the heat from around it. We put black construction paper also on the sides of the box so that always could collect heat. We took a piece of glass that was the main reflector. We put it at an angle. We took aluminum paper and put it to the other sides of the box. Those are like side reflectors to reflect off. We put the piece of glass on it and angled it so that the light could hit the glass and off the aluminum paper and into the cookie itself.
We were just kind of anxious about the plexiglass, if we should have used the saran wrap instead of the plexiglass. So the team communication was good. We know each other. We a lot of us in similar classes. So everything flowed smoothly. It was good. But the only problems, just a few disagreements on like change of plans, like what other persons thought that would be better. So it was just to finalize on that.
What we did was that we tried to make the best out of the materials, and even though some materials wasn't expected, we tried to make use of what we had, and that was close to what we had in mind.
the glass had to be at a specific angle that will harness the light waves. But you see, the glass kept sliding down and moving. Plus, it was shard, so we had to place them at different parts, and then we just didn't really have the shape because we originally planned to have 4 big pieces, to just put one this way, another one that way, another one that way, another one that way, to just trap the sunlight. So
Kiki Lani Boswell was responsible for the inside box, putting it together, getting it stuck together and everything. Anna and Grace were responsible for the lid and the reflectiveness, and Victoria and I were responsible for like the putting on the foil, putting on the black outside so that it would absorb the heat. And
well, myself, Audie Daly, and Shaquan Frederick, we went about putting the structure together, and Siobhan Jones and Jason Blackwood, they made the flaps to go around the entire model, and then we all came along to do the insulation inside the box and foiling the sides and using the pans in this inside to get our model going.
We got the light tape. If there was paper tape, we had to use duct tape instead because the paper tape wasn't holding. We also, when it comes to aluminum, we had to do like 1 sheet, then 2nd sheet, then 3rd sheet, just to make sure that it holds properly.
We did not find it difficult to come in a final solution because we all thought about it, and we thought that the black mat would have been better. The only thing that we could have done was to build the stand and then have a mirror connected to the stand, and then for the sunlight to reflect off of the mirror and into the box.
Yes, instead of for the supporters, because we had supporters to adjust the convex shape reflectors in case the sun had changed. However, because of the time, we couldn't glue the reflectors, we had to tape them, and we fell into some problems with that, but it ended up, at the end, it was okay.
The worries was how we were gonna place the sausage to get all the heat available. So you see, there was this long discussion of how we're gonna place it and how we're gonna make sure that it gets all the heat. So after the big discussion, Tennis and Cornelius came up with a little holster, a little stand that we used to make sure everything was right.
The only thing that we weren't planning on using was the black on the outside. But then once we got there and we started brainstorming and saw the black paper on the table, we decided, oh, we should use this, and that's what we used for our absorbent. We had good teamwork, we worked together and we planned accordingly, and I think it looked pretty good and the stability was good. So
communicated very well. We took advice when we were from each other, and we gave inputs. Each gave our inputs as what you think was the best way to go about doing each area of the project. Worries, no sir. I just think that for, well, how we had the hot dog, the way we had it on the stick, we thought we could have probably used a foil to help heat it up instead of just having the stick.
For me, I would have used mirrors and I would have put it in a better place, or I would have propped it up higher. It was flat. I would have propped it up higher because there was a shadow that was on our sausage, and we can move it after we put it down. So. The lid for the cooker wasn't staying on, and it wasn't snug enough so that heat wouldn't escape. So we had to push it in and then tighten it with duct tape.
Had the time, and because we didn't had a lot of time, we had to try to find alternative ways in order to finish the project and finish it efficiently.
I was worried about the reflector falling off, because if the main reflector when the glass falls off, nothing will be there to reflect the light into the box itself.
It was just enough time. We finished just in time. When he said there was 1 minute left, we were wrapping up everything and we stuck on the last piece.
Are rushing to complete their task.
Okay, so this is the G-Men's solar cooker. Okay, firstly we utilize the aluminum foil, the reflective properties of the aluminum foil. So in the sun, the rays of the sunlight would reflect inside. And then we have the plexiglass, which takes in the sunlight and then traps it inside. Okay, and then additional heat would be coming from the black interior. Okay, so that would be radiation. Then furthermore, there's the foil pan, which we will put the hot dog in, and that would heat it up. The only problems with this was, I guess, a green paint to add to the G-Men grammar school. And then the plexiglass wasn't the right size, so we had to break it ourselves for it to actually fit onto it.
A solar cooker, also known as a solar oven. It functions on 3 basic principles. Firstly, to concentrate sunlight. Secondly, to convert light to heat. And lastly, to trap heat. We use dull black because black represents the absence of light. And black absorbs all 7 colors of light and reflects none. We use a reflector aluminum foil because it is shiny white. We use a convex shape because the convex focuses the light on the food. One limitation we encountered was that a solar cooker takes a significantly long period of time to cook. We suggest that by increasing the surface area, you increase the amount of light coming to the catchment area to cook the food. We observed that the solar cooker is a very inexpensive, low-tech device that saves money, fuel, and has no maintenance, and also it is pollution free.
This is our solar cooker oven here, and you see our main principle we use here is the principle of reflection. So if you can see, all the mirrors are angled at a kind of way, so when the light waves come inside, they reflect back, and this here, the plexiglass, acts as a medium insulator. So when the light waves come in, it can't just come back out. And if you look around it on the design, it has black construction that works as the insulator to make sure no heat comes out. So all the heat will come in, it will reflect, and the light waves have something called photons. When the photons come in, they're going to heat up the air, and the air is going to gain some kinetic energy, and it's always going to bounce back and forth along the mirror, creating heat. So that's just basically what our solar cooker oven is.
Anthony Secondary School project. It is a functional solar cooker that we're going to be using to cook a hot dog. All it is just put together black paper, duct tape, foil paper, shredded paper, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why we use them. The foil paper is for reflection, so that I can reflect the heat back onto the hot dog. The plexiglass, and the plexiglass is what we use to. The plexiglass is so that heat can get in, but it can't come back out. The insulation is so that it can also trap heat inside, and so it can get as hot as it can. This flap here is so that the sun can be reflected back and down into the solar cooker, and yeah.
So our project for our solar cooker, what we did, we used two separate boxes. We used the inner one, we created 4 corners, normal box. Then we insulated it with the egg boxes and paper, and we used the black manila paper to help the heat stay inside. Then we used foil pans to help inside to trap the heat. What we did on the outside, we did the black manila paper to help with the heat as well, and we did the flaps, the V-flaps around to help this, so whichever direction the heat is coming from, it will go inside and it will be trapped inside there. We also have plexiglass on top to help trap the heat inside of the box.
Solar cooker, which is a device used to cook food using the radiation from the sun, which turns into light energy, which converts into heat energy. We used 2 aluminum cans and wrapped it in black construction paper, which is used to absorb the heat, and put it onto the aluminum cans, which will in turn heat and cook the sausage. We wrapped the walls of the cooker in aluminum foil paper, which will generate heat, and we also put on the side paper, which will insulate it. The reflectors on each side, we put a glass here and point the here to reflect the light from the sun into the cooker. We put black construction paper on the outside, on each side, as well as to absorb more energy into the cooker.
All right, the judges made their final decision. The judges found that your design was the most innovative. youths. They thought your project was well constructed and you worked from a plan. Your temperature was 48 degrees Celsius. Antigua Girls High School, you're safe this week. The judges thought that you guys were the best performers. You had a very good presentation, but your project could have been constructed better. St. Mary's School of Excellence, you're safe. The judges thought that you worked hard, you worked well, and you worked hard as a team. And it was a well thought out design. Your temperature was 46 degrees Celsius. The Irene B. Williams School, you're safe this week. The judges thought that your design was original, making use of the aluminum cans for the heating on the inside. Very good insulation and demonstrated good understanding of the principle. And your work could have been a bit neater. They thought that you were a bit sloppy at times. And your temperature was 50 degrees Celsius. All Saints Secondary School, you're safe. We'll tell you the bottom two teams of our competition this week when we come back. Welcome back. We're down to our final two teams, the two bottom teams in this week's competition. Antigua Grammar School and St. Anthony's Secondary School. Step forward, please. All right, the judges found that one of the projects lacked innovation. It was not innovative enough, it was too simple. And although you worked well as a team, it wasn't innovative. The judges also found that one of the projects was well constructed. It was well designed. The team worked well, but the shading limited temperature rise in one of the projects, and it was not sufficient surface area to capture the sunlight. All right, that's the judges' comments for the two final teams. St. Anthony's, you're safe this week. Antigua Grammar School, you do not have the power. Your journey to becoming a PowerBlast champion ends here.
The competition was a good experience. We haven't really done anything like this before. It's kind of a first time experience that we're actually being creative and actually building something. There hasn't been a competition like this before, so it was good to finally have one. Yeah. Thank teachers, thank everyone that helped us.